So, Purple Rose are here, and I'm going to be starting the Markarth Prologue quest. And I have to meet Gwendis just up here, so yeah, I'm really excited to see how the Greymoor quest is continued. And how this will set up the Markarth storyline. So here's Gwendis.
What? Saving Skyrim wasn't enough for you? Had to sign on for even more heroics? It's good to see you. I could use your help. You know better than anyone what we're dealing with. We need to figure out exactly what the Greyhost is up to.
Hello, Gwendis. Do you need help with your investigation?
You know the Ravenwatch deals with threats all the time. Trouble is, there's never been a threat consisting of a reborn army of vampires and werewolves from the First Era. So yes, I could use some help. We need to know what they're planning.
And what do we know so far?
We know that one of the original ruling members of the Greyhost is rebuilding their army, gathering vampires and werewolves to their banner. And we know they're experimenting with life energy. So, what do you say? Ready for another adventure?
I'm always ready for an adventure. I'll help you find out more about the Greyhost.
Everything I learned up to now points in the same direction. Brackreach garrison. There's a scholar named Lorette Deal there who may be able to tell us more about the Greyhost and how they were defeated. Cart's over there when you're ready to go.
Tell me about what you have learned.
My research has uncovered pieces, but I hope the scholars at the Brackreach garrison can put the puzzle together. Members of the Greyhost experimented with life energy, and at least one of their leaders survived their defeat in the ancient past.
Tell me about the Greyhost survivor.
My research indicates a council ruled the Greyhost. One of those leaders fell out of favor and another survived the final battle. A Durrani noble with connections to Viridian Watch gave the survivor sanctuary. In return, they made her a vampire.
So, what we learned from Greymoor is that Count Verandus might be the vampire that fell out of favour in the Greyhost, but I'm sure we'll officially learn that. We will see. So Verandus was given, I assume Verandus, was given sanctuary by a Durrani noble, and in turn he made that noble into a vampire. I think I may have this wrong. I'm just guessing right now. So tell me about the experiments with life energy.
In the ancient past, the Greyhost sought to use life energy to draw souls into containment vessels called stone husks. It had something to do with returning the dead to life. I think there's a new Greyhost, and they've revived those experiments.
Anything else I need to know before we head out?
Probably, but nothing that can't wait. Let's take the cart to the Brackreach garrison and find the scholars who can tell us more about the history of the Greyhost.
Is anyone else investigating this?
For the moment. There are an awful lot of evil conspiracies afoot in Tamriel, and not nearly enough Ravenwatch members to investigate them all. But this isn't a one-person job, which is why we recruited help.
What are the rest of the Ravenwatch doing?
No idea. They're spread out. Adusa, for example, mentioned something about necromancers raising bone giants and elsewhere, but she probably wanted to refill her moon sugar stores. Fenorian could be anywhere. He does tend to sneak around.
Yeah, that's Fenorian. He appears out of nowhere. But he was making the elixir, so he's probably finished that by now. He could be anywhere, probably moving to Markarth. What do you hope to accomplish at the Brackreach garrison?
I'm hoping a scholar of ancient Brackreach battles named Lorette Deal or one of her colleagues can tell us more about the Greyhost. With any luck, they have information about the Greyhost that's not too outlandish.
Because we do know that the Greyhost, way back, were travelling, and I think they all died in Brackreach. I think. What do you mean by outlandish?
The priests have this old holy text that claims St. Pelin leapt off the garrison's walls, landed among the host, asked Stendarr for endless blood, and then fed them all without dying. Then the garrison dropped some rocks on them. See? Outlandish.
I did read about this when I did look up the Greyhost online. But yeah, it could have happened. Stranger things have happened in Tamriel. So you want more reasonable answers.
Exactly. We need practical facts about how the Greyhost was defeated at Bankurai Garrison. Hopefully Scholar Deal can provide them.
Yes. I'm anxious to find out more about the Greyhost. So let's go. So it was in Bankurai that the Greyhost was defeated. At the garrison here.
Well, this isn't at all what I expected. What happened here?
What is it?
Nice camp, I suppose.
It's a camp. What did you expect?
I didn't expect to find our historians outside the walls, or to find this place so disturbed. Was someone foolish enough to attack Bankurai Garrison? No matter. That's Scholar Deal over there. See if she can tell us about the Greyhost.
Let's see.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you here for a tour? I'm afraid they've all been suspended until this mess with the Imperial Army is resolved. If I could offer a suggestion, turn around and head for the safety of Evermore's walls.
We came a long way to ask you about the Greyhost.
As you can plainly see, now is not a good time. My fellow scholars and I fled when Septima Tharn and her Daedra-worshipping zealots attacked. We barely got out before the first impacts from their ballistae shook the walls.
Septima Tharn. Must be related to Abna Tharn? You can rest easy. High King Emric and I have retaken the garrison.
You did? Why didn't any of the knights report this? No one tells scholars anything. Well, if that's true, and I see no reason you'd offer such an audacious lie, then thank you. Septima Tharn is mad. Had we stayed, she would have fed us to her Daedra.
Now that things have settled down, can I ask you some questions about the Greyhost?
I'm sorry. Concern for my colleagues and the Pyre Watch warrior who accompanied them has my thoughts in a jumble. Come to think of it, the Pyre Watch are experts on the Greyhost. Find my friends, and I'm sure the warrior will answer your questions.
I'm familiar with the Pyre Watch. I met a member not long ago. That we did, in one of the dungeons.
Then you know how brave and knowledgeable they are. One of their warriors was here recruiting when the garrison came under attack. She offered to protect the scholars that fled, and I haven't seen them since. I fear for their safety. Can you help?
I'll find your missing scholars and the Pyre Watch warrior.
Cogleen and Indus fled in the direction of Evermore with the Pyre Watch warrior, while Jannard headed toward Kerbal's Hollow. Please be careful. The wilderness can be treacherous between here and there.
Isn't there anything at all you could tell me about the Greyhost?
Even if my mind wasn't clouded with worry, I'm an expert on the Second Era. My First Era knowledge is extremely limited. The Pyre Watch knows more about the Greyhost than anyone. Find her and my friends, and she'll provide the answers you seek.
Okay.
Thank you, friend. When you return with the scholars safely in tow, we should be able to put our collective heads together and dredge up that ancient history. That is, if the Pyre Watch warrior hasn't already satisfied your curiosity.
This Pyre Watch warrior, she might be the one that Fenorian healed when we first met Fenorian in that dungeon. Can't remember what dungeon it was though.
This scholar's research doesn't go back to the First Era. And the other scholars fled? That puts a wrinkle in our plans, all right. This Pyre Watch warrior is a promising lead, though. Let's go find her and the other scholars.
Scholar Deal says the missing scholars ran into 2 different directions.
I heard. Let's split up and go after them. All take Kerbal's Hollow. You head toward Evermore. Here, I'll mark it on your map.
I met a member of the Pyre Watch.
Yeah, my brother Fenorian mentioned something about that. I should have thought of them earlier, but they're pretty secretive and reclusive. We're lucky one left their post to consult with the scholars. Go find them and then meet me back here.
Bet you it's the same one. I'll meet you back here with the scholars.
Find the scholars, but try not to get eaten by anything.
I've survived worse. I like Gwendis's updated look with her new armor. I think it's called Ancient Breton. So, where am I going? Find Scholar Indoors. Scholar Cogline. So yeah, this Pyre Watch warrior is probably the one we met in that dungeon. So, they're over here.
You there. Come. You don't look like a refugee. Are you a soldier from the garrison? What news of the Imperial attack?
Scholar Deal sent me to find you. She has a camp outside the garrison's walls.
Oh, that's wonderful news. Cogleen and I intended to head straight for Evermore, but the cursed Imperials caught up with us. They would have captured us if not for that Pyre Watch warrior. Have you seen her? Is she alive?
I haven't. Scholar Deal said she was leading you towards Evermore?
She was, but we ran into Imperials. The Pyre Watch warrior distracted the soldiers and ordered me to flee. Then she took Cogleen and headed west. Please, find them. I worry for their safety.
I'll find them. Go to Scholar Deal's camp.
I will go to Scholar Deal's camp now. We are most fortunate you came to our aid.
I came here for information about the Greyhost of the First Era. What can you tell me?
Other than the fact that they were defeated here centuries ago, not much, I'm afraid. I can tell you Empress Hestra's legions came to the aid of Bankarai garrison. That's why Hyrok became part of the Alessian Empire for a time.
You must know something else about the Greyhost.
Alas, you seek facts and figures that I don't have readily at hand. Perhaps when I can retrieve my papers from inside the garrison? You know, the Pyre Watch warrior might be able to help you. They're experts on the Greyhosts of the First Era. I will return to Skaladiel's camp. May Tall Papa guide your steps.
Yes, Scholar Deal said that as well. Guess the Pyre Watch warrior is our best bet on Greyhost information. Because I still want to know what Rada El Saran wants. Like, we know he wanted to bring the Greyhost back to life, but what's his end game? We've put a foil in his plans, but what does he hope to do now in Markarth? That's what I want to know.
Psst! Over here!
Hang on. Why are you in a graveyard? Oh. A new scry.
You're the first thing I've seen that isn't an undead monstrosity. Oh, lovely. Are you with the garrison? Please, tell me you're here to rescue me.
Scholar Deal sent me to find you. She has a camp outside the garrison's walls.
Oh, thanks, Dundar. I thought I could make it to Evermore, but I tired myself out. When I tried to pass through the old graveyard, I ran into unspeakable horrors. Thought I was finished. I'll head back now. Oh, say, did you find that Pyre Watch warrior?
I haven't. Scholar Indoors said she left to find you.
When the Imperials came after us, she managed to distract them and ordered me to run to the graveyard. I think she headed for the Crypt of the Exiles. Oh, I hope she found shelter within. We owe her our lives. Please, will you go check on her?
I'll check the Crypt of the Exiles. Get to Scholar Deal's camp.
I'll find Scholar Deal's camp straight away. I am in your debt. If I can do anything to aid you, All you have to do is ask.
What can you tell me about the ancient Greyhost?
The army of monsters that ravaged the First Era? Not really my area of expertise. I study the historical accounts of Warlord Thulgeg's army of orcs and goblins. The garrison held strong and denied them passage. Not one got through. Truly inspiring.
You're a historian. You must know something that could help me.
Well, most scholars agree that the fanciful legend about the Greyhost's defeat is, pardon my orcish, guardung. You know, the Pyre Watch are sort of Greyhost experts. Find her, and I'm sure she can provide the answers you seek.
Yeah. So where's this exile? Crypt of Exiles.
I'll hurry back to Scholar Deal's camp. Be safe.
You too. Don't get eaten by those undead that you mentioned. So yeah, the Greyhost. We do know they were defeated at the garrison. And from what I learnt in Greymoor Keep, when I was doing the main quest there and I read a book, Rada El Saran is angry at, I think it was the 13th member who betrayed the Greyhost, which I think is Verandis. But Rada El Saran referred to him as Strike, I think. Started with an S. I'm just remembering this off the top of my memory. So we gotta find the Pyre Watch warrior. So I'll go this way. So yeah. The Greyhost was defeated by one of the Pyre Watch praying to their god to have an endless supply of blood. And that's how the Greyhost was defeated. Because they kept feeding off that one dude.
Come forward, you godless mongrel! By Tuwaka's mercy, it's you. I am sorry I did not recognize you in the shadows. Is Fenorian with you? No, you are alone. What adventure makes our paths cross again, my friend?
So she is the one we met. She didn't like Fenorian at first, but she changed her tune towards the end of that dungeon. Scholar Deal sent me to find you and the scholar. She has a camp outside the garrison's walls.
It gladdens my heart to hear that Scholar Deal is safe. But what of the other scholars? Did my efforts to lead the Imperials away allow them to get away?
I located scholars Cogline and Indos. I sent them to Deal's camp.
That is truly fortunate. As for me, I escaped the Imperials only to find myself surrounded by ancient undead. Let us speak outside. I will follow your lead. May Onsi guide your blade.
Follow me.
I am sorry I cannot be more help to you. All the fighting and running has worn me out. Once we are free of this place, you have my word that I will do anything you ask. Upon Lecky's blade, I swear it.
How have you been since we last saw each other?
I have been well, thank you. The Pyre Watch grows slowly but surely. My efforts to rebuild have been fruitful, but my duty does not cease. I have not forgotten what you and Fenorian did. Not for a moment. How is Fenorian?
Fenorian's fine, as far as I know.
My ancestors must feel great shame watching me care for the well-being of a scion of Baal. Still, it comforts me to know he endures, even during these unholy times.
Mara willing, our paths will cross again.
He may be a scion of Baal, but not all vampires are bad. But yeah, it's good. We only saw her briefly in that dungeon. So if she and the other Pyre Watch are in Markarth's storyline, it'll be interesting to actually learn more about them. So yeah, let's go get out of here. Escort her to safety. Go back to Scholar Deal.
The exit. Let us see the sky once more.
Let's go.
I came to Bankarai garrison seeking recruits for the Pyre Watch. Hunding help us, I did not expect those villains to arrive and send innocent people fleeing for shelter. I am grateful you saved the scholars. Now what can I do for you in return?
I'm looking for information about the Greyhost of the First Era.
The Greyhost was a terrible army of vampires, werewolves, and other monsters that pillaged the land. Only the combined might of the Bankarai garrison and the Alessian Empire finally defeated them. That story, unfortunately, is mired in legend.
So there's nothing you can tell me about how they were defeated?
The true story may be as enthralling as the legends, but we only have bits and pieces of it. Magic was involved, almost certainly. But whether it was divine in nature or Alessian sorcery, we have never been able to determine.
There must be something you know that can help us understand the Greyhost.
I can delve into the records of my order when I return to our sanctum, but understand that the Watch is concerned with keeping the past buried, not exposing it. I can tell you that there are indications that one of the hosts survived the slaughter.
We learned something similar. A Dareni noble offered the survivor sanctuary.
A Dareni noble? That gives some credence to the historical record. An incomplete parchment mentioned Viridian Watch, but we never saw the significance. It also said that only the worthy could enter the sanctuary. We never determined what that meant.
So I was wrong. Rada el-Saran may have been the only survivor of that battle. And he turned this Dareni noble. I need to tell my associate Gwendis about this. You should return to Scholar Deal's camp.
I do not know the nature of your mission, Wayfarer, and I still have my own to uphold. But if you seek answers about the Grey Host, then may Mara bless your search.
Can you tell me anything about Viridian Watch?
I know precious little. I never visited the site myself. Though incomplete, the historical record indicates the survivor hid in a concealed space that they were guided to. Perhaps that has something to do with the idea of being worthy.
Tell me more about that part of the record.
There wasn't much. Just that the worthy would be guided to safety. Perhaps that is the key, if you can determine what worthy means to a vile vampire. Any place associated with the Grey Host cannot be trusted. Evil does not fade. So be on your guard.
Now I'm more confused. I doubt Rada el-Saran would have been worthy, so maybe it is Verandis.
I will go check on the scholars at Deal's camp. Thank you again, Wayfarer.
So we have to go to Viridian Watch, wherever that is. But we gotta tell Gwendis first. So maybe Verandis was this vampire that survived, but Rada survived too. So I'm confused as to which one found sanctuary with that Dareni. Maybe I'm just overthinking this. I don't know.
There you are.
Are you all okay?
what an exciting day. When that gorgeous wood elf came swooping to my rescue, I just about swooned. Mind you, I didn't need to be rescued. I had it all well in hand. Even still, my rescuer was a delightful surprise. No complaints here.
So that's the scholar that Gwendis found?
When the Imperials attacked, I resigned myself to whatever fate Tall Papa thought fitting for me. I'm glad that you were part of that fate. I am not yet ready to leave the land of the living.
None of us are.
Thank you again for the timely rescue. I dare say I'll regale my grandchildren with the tale of my escape in return for the rest of my days. I simply must commit it all to paper. So much history to record.
Cool. Don't leave me out.
You found them. Cogleen, Indus, and Jannard returned not long ago. Thank you. We owe you a great debt. I hope the Pyre Watch warrior was able to provide the historical information you came looking for.
She gave me some. So Gwendis is looking at her blade.
Good, you're back. I found Jannard and I see you've managed to return with the rest. Show off. Now that we settled that matter, what did the Pyre Watch warrior tell you about the Greyhost?
Shalara said the historical record is incomplete concerning the details of the Greyhost.
I was afraid of that. So much about the First Era has been lost. I wonder if the Pyre Watch knows anything about the other details we learned. About the survivor and their connection to a Dareni noble.
She confirmed there was a survivor and they may have taken sanctuary in Viridian Watch.
That matches what we already uncovered, and confirms the Dareni connection. Did you find out anything else I should know?
Apparently the legend says the way to safety was only available to those worthy to receive it.
A riddle, damn it. There's always a riddle. Well, I say we go to Viridian Watch and figure this out on our own. I'll mark the location on your map. Now let's go before Scholar Deal tries to regale me with more tales of the Knights of St. Pallin.
I'll meet you inside Viridian Watch. Cool.
I'll meet you at Viridian Watch.
So where is Viridian Watch? Ah, up there. Okay. May as well walk there. Right there. So the survivor could either be Rada or Verandis, because maybe Rada wasn't always bad. Maybe he used to be good. And then, yeah, he got defeated. He was alone. His family was dead. I don't know. Though it could be Verandis. I'm leaning more towards that it could have been Verandis. But I'm not sure. So this is Viridian Watch. So search for the Greyhost hideout.
Look! There's a sigil, right there. Don't you see it?
Where? I see no sigil. You mean that?
It makes so much sense. The riddle. Only those worthy can find the way to safety. Only vampires and werewolves can see these sigils. That explains why no one ever found anything.
Ah, because I'm not a vampire, I don't see anything. So I don't see any sigils.
That's because you aren't a vampire or a werewolf. Hold on, I've got just the thing. Here, a blood pendant. It lets me share some of my vampiric essence so you can see the sigils too. It's perfectly safe. At least, Fenorian said it was harmless.
I trust Fenorian. What's our next step?
We follow the sigils, of course. The Greyhost survivor must have used these as a guide, and they were made for that specific purpose. Now let's see where they lead.
Alright, let's go. Ah, there's the sigil. I thought it was on the wall. Yeah, cool.
Another one. Keep going west.
So she's sharing some of her essence with me. But yeah, I trust Fenorian.
South here. Not that we have a choice.
So, this way?
East. Down that tunnel.
Jeez. So let's continue.
Let's go south. Up those steps.
Hold on, another chest. So yeah, only vampires and werewolves can see these.
East here. And down again.
I can see them, Gwendis. I mean, it would make sense if we couldn't.
Another one. Northeast around this corner.
Okay.
Keep going straight. I think we're close.
We are.
Ha! This must be it. Now how to go about opening it.
Maybe only a vampire can open it?
That's done it. Let's check inside.
Oh, wow. Very hidden. Pretty run down.
Even thousands of years later, I smell faint traces of blood, sweat, and fear. A Greyhost survivor definitely hid out here. Let's have a look around.
Yeah, hopefully we find out who. Letter of welcome. To the all-powerful and illustrious Lord, so it was Rada Al-Saran. I created this sanctuary to account for the unfortunate possibility of the battle going awry. Now word has reached me of the Greyhost's defeat. I fear the worst has come to pass. Damn strikes recklessness and his sickening ego. It is truly unjust that the man who brokered the deal with Molag Bal should be the downfall of a great order. So, Rada did survive, and he came here. If you are reading this, I know it must have been painful to fight tirelessly, only to watch your brothers and sisters fall around you, but you must survive. You will speak for those who have fallen, you must continue the legacy. I hope you did not have trouble locating this safe haven. I made sure to mark the way with magic blood sigils that only one of your distinction would be able to detect. There are healing poultices and bandages in case you were injured, and bound prisoners for when you need to feed. Know that you are protected here. No harm will come to you. I will check on this refuge in a few days once it is safe to do so. I hope to find you well and that my act of dedication to you and your cause reflects well upon me. I am ever your loyal servant, and should you choose to grace me with the gift of immortality, I shall spend eternity as Lady Thorn, in service to you as we rebuild what is lost. Your devoted servant, Lady Ingeren of Clan Durrani. So Lady Thorn is in one of those new delves. I haven't actually done those delves yet, so...
Rada Al-Saran was a survivor. That figures. And Lady Thorn helped him. Or should I say, Lady Ingrid?
Yeah, I haven't done those 2 dungeons. Just been busy with other stuff.
Looks like he had quite the setup down here. I'm surprised that's lasted all this time.
Ritual chalice? What was that other thing I got? Bloodied bandages.
Wait, what's that? Let me see it.
Odd signet.
I recognize this signet, but that doesn't make any sense.
Does it have something to do with the Greyhost?
I don't know. No, this can't be. But it is, isn't it? Damn it. I don't like where this is going.
What's wrong?
I've seen this signet before, or one just like it. My mentor, Count Verandis, had one. But why would he have something connected to the Greyhost? That doesn't make any sense.
There has to be an explanation.
You're right, of course. There must be something we're missing. We need answers, and there's only one place to find them. Ravenwatch Castle in Rivenspire. Let's go. I'll explain more when we get there. I need time to think.
So yeah, we'll just go to the castle.